already like 3 episodes, and I've I've just started, and it feels like I've been doing this the whole time, but like for a year. About so, anyways, but welcome back to the First One podcast with me, your boy Josh. That's it says what it spells, Josh, and then I'd like to give credit again to Z Beats for um giving us that intro beat. Sounds good, doesn't it? That isn't the full song if you're wondering, but yeah, y'all can go check out their channel, and they have a whole list of music that you can go listen to. But anyways, let's go straight into the hot topics, bro. Like I have an arm race here, that's why I like yeah, y'all maybe can't see this arm, but I have an arm race. So anyway, the hot topic, but obviously the FIFA World Cup just started Thursday. So Africa versus Mexico, and as y'all maybe heard in previous episodes, I'm South African, so obviously I have to support my country. But the country I'm supporting in the World Cup is Spain, because not after the bad performance we had against Mexico, which was all that was for South Africa. It was a bad opening match, but for Mexico it was like just incredible, because it was in their place also. It was their home ground basically that they were playing at. So yeah, I watched that game, and man, I had no words. Like less than 10 minutes there, it was already 1-0 down, and I believe even me and my friends would make a better team than that. But mm, you can't, like, I can't criticize. Like, I'm there in USA, but wait and look where I am. I'm still here in SA. So yeah, so you can't say something and then you can't back it. It's like I can back it, but I don't have the opportunity like they have. But anyways, they had two better players, like two of the best players. They didn't start in that whole match. I know Lau Foster is like Premier League. He's playing for Burnley or whatever, but he was bad in that match. But when we have to admit it, he was bad. But anyways, enough football, soccer law. Even though I am into soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. Mm. But we have better things to move on to. You know, it's the first one podcast. Welcome back, guys. So you all heard about this unfortunate story about Melissa CASIAS, the scientist who went missing last year, this time basically June. So they found her. Unfortunately, she she was gone. She was already like they found her a body in a national park or forest, whatever you want to call it, in New Mexico. So a hiker was hiking. Firstly they found the body at May 28th. So that's the time they found her body, and a hiker found it against a tree. It was up against a tree. If you don't know the story about Melissa Casillas, I believe is her name, if I'm pronouncing it right. She is a scientist who works with her husband at LANL, I believe, Los Alamos National something Laboratory, National Laboratory maybe. So she and her husband work there on some, I guess, some classified project, because all these scientists is going missing right now because they're linked to nuclear weapons, sensitive information, stuff concerning UFOs. That's why they're disappearing and stuff. So obviously, I believe it was the first episode I said my theory is they're trying to take out all the scientists who have links with these UFO information. So when Trump releases the alien files, they can they can't wear him out like that's fake and that stuff. So there's no whistleblowers left. So there's already like 10, I believe it's 10 that that's went missing and stuff. Yeah, it's 10 and maybe more. I don't know. let's not hope so. I mean, let's hope this ends. But anyway, back to the story. So they found her at the Carson National Forest in New Mexico. Aika found her, and after, like, there's a lot of theories going around about this. So they interviewed her family, and her, like, obviously the family wasn't shocked or whatever because she just disappeared. She dropped her husband off at the lab, and I believe she forgot her badge or something, so she went home. That's what basically happened. She went home, and somewhere did she brought her daughter a sandwich to her workplace, to the daughter's workplace. That's what I read somewhere, like maybe in an article. I believe it was an article. Like she brought us a sandwich to her daughter, and she left. Like, and the daughter said that the mother looked completely fine. Like there was nothing wrong. Like she wasn't planning anything or whatever. And she left everything at her house, and she just left. I believe the last time she was spotted was at a highway. I don't know which highway it was, but she was reported being spotted at walking like eastbound at some highway. I don't know. So that's the last time they saw her alive, basically. Not her family, but some people who were obviously there at that time. Um, and she left everything. She left her car, ID, her phone. Like this is probably like the most interesting thing. Her phone was wiped. So that's obviously sparking some suspicious stuff, obviously. But when they interviewed the family and whatever, like mainly the daughter said. So before we get to what the daughter said, let me just get out of the way. Her body was found, I believe, beside a tree, and like not far away from her body, like maybe like 3 inches or whatever, like just next to her body. Basically, they found a handgun. So yeah, that's what makes this interesting. And immediately there was some theories sparking around, and some of these theories actually caught my eye. That's why, that's why I need I need to share this with you guys, so I can also can get your thoughts on this. So the theory was that basically before I get to the theory, so the daughter said that her mother never owned a gun, like she didn't own a gun. That's it. So that's what the daughter said. When the mother visited the daughter said she looked completely fine, nothing was wrong or whatever. But according to the mom's workplace or something, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong on this. According to the workplace of the mother said to the workplace she was working at, the labs, that something was up, like something was wrong at the daughter's workplace or something like that. So yes, she had to go. You know what I mean? So the theory is like the first theory, or maybe the only theory about this is that she actually like I don't know if I could even say this because this is actually some real like stuff that could be like if I could like obviously it's on the internet already. That's why I got it. But anyways, I'm just gonna. But it could be dangerous, if like someone gets this or whatever. But anyways, like maybe I hope not, man. So the theory is that she actually faked her own death. Like she was placed into a government witness protection program, some highly classified program or whatever. So she got pulled out. Obviously, she maybe has a new identity, new life, living amongst other people or whatever. So this is just a theory. Because what backs this theory up is they found the handgun next to her, and obviously when they did some scans to her body, there was no, they didn't that. I believe it's an MRI scan you do for no, it's a CT scan, right? CT scan. So they did the CT scan, and they found no point, like, what do you call this? A hole. There was no hole in the skull, which indicates that she was shot at, with a gun. So, but there was just a fracture. So that's what backs this theory that she wasn't shot with a gun. Maybe it was like she was like, when people use a gun to hit someone on the head. There's this theory that's what happened. She didn't die. She faked down dead, and the body was swapped. Obviously, they say the body was skeletonized because if you're laying in the forest for a year, there's animals there, there's some critters there that obviously will eat your flesh and stuff, and it'll rot. So obviously the body was skeletonized because she's basically a year since her disappearance. So that they found her and the body was skeletonized. So the theory is that they swapped out the body because it was skeletonized and it wouldn't be noticed. If there was still some visibility or whatever, maybe they would have noticed it. But what puts this theory down, or what makes this theory a bit invalid, is the cops already confirmed I I identity, like positive, like they were positive. It is. I don't know if the family, obviously the family went to go look, and I don't have much info on what they had to comment on that, but the cops identified it was Melissa CASIAS who went missing about a year ago. But that's kind of a valid theory that they were trying to put in the witness protection program because all these scientists going missing, and she was obviously one of the few left who knew such classified information about this stuff, and could be a whistleblower for future stuff that the government or whatever people are trying to push out to us so they can identify if this is true or not. So that's actually a valid theory, but obviously that theory has been shut down because they identified it was her. So that's just unfortunate, and yeah, man, this just puts me down. Like, people are just trying to do what they're good at, and they try and they're losing their lives for it, man. Trying to reveal us something, and it's kind of sad, man, to lose your life like that. That means you had a whole family. Uh, Obviously, there's another theory is like they were trying to claim under insurance the husband, but he quickly shut that down and he sued. He filed like a complaint against the PI family, the family PI, I believe. But then obviously that theory was already shut down before it even started because I knew it wasn't him, because they're trying to get all of these scientists, and she was just one of them, unfortunately. But anyways, yeah, and obviously there's stuff going on with old Dirk and his court cases and whatever. But they just released some screenshots of an unreleased vaulted music video from Lil Durk. It's called REDMAN. The video is called REDMAN, and the video contains him chasing down a Quando Rondo lookalike and shooting this dude, shooting at him, or maybe shooting him. He caught him and he maybe died. I didn't watch the full video, but that's what it contains basically, because they released screenshots at the court case, and some fans obviously speculate that this is just too coincidental, the timing, because the video was vaulted, right? And the the feds had to get this video through a third party. So fans are claiming there is a rat amongst the OTF family. So obviously I did some research, like you know, like I obviously do research about everything. I did some research, and the only that like they basically said this is the guy, but he shut it down. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the dude Jam. So the other members of the OTF family said the rat in the family could be Jam because this this man, alright, was sentenced to about maybe 12 to 14 years, I believe, in prison. So when he got out, the other the other pack members said this man was wired for about 2 years, recording all their events that they're doing, activities that they're doing, the OTF family, and so he can report to the cops, you know. So maybe obviously he was he was part of the OTF family, and he had access to this video. That's the only thing that could make sense. And he leaked this video to the feds, and they got this video, uses it against Lil Durk because obviously that's what these people do. And so they basically saying this video is basically like plotting or whatever, like predicting a real life events that is going to happen at that time. Which the video was him chasing down Quando Rano. I look like it wasn't Quando Rano in the video, but it look like him, and him shooting at the lookalike. And obviously, if you're doing such a thing in a music video, but the rest of the ODF family immediately pointed that it was just for entertainment. And if you do this stuff in the rap world, you're gonna get views and stuff, which they're not wrong, but they're obviously gonna use it against him because this is basically like showing, no, I'm gonna do this to him, you know. And let me know what y'all think about the Jam, if Jam is the rat in the OTF family. But obviously, this man went to social media and claimed, nah, I'm not the rat and stuff. He said a lot of things which I won't be saying much about, but he basically denied the claims or the accusations that he was the rat in the family. But why was he wired up for 2 years? That's what they say. He was wired up for about 2 years recording their activities and all this stuff that they are doing. And obviously, if you in the family, you have this information, you have all of their doings that you can maybe use against them in the future. You know. Anyways, that is a theory that's going around um, concerning Lil Durk and his trial cases or whatever. Yeah, so I'm just opening the best for Lil Durk, and yeah, man, because there's all these black rappers just going to jail and stuff. We got all these people going to jail, and they we shouldn't make this a thing, you know. We shouldn't make this a thing, and I hope he's doing alright, I guess. Anyways, back to the World Cup. I was watching the opening ceremony of the World Cup, and obviously Skira performed the official World Cup song with Burna Boy. Actually, a good song. Let me know what y'all think about the World Cup song because I think it's actually kind of good. This might just touch my nose. Like I think it's actually kind of good, the World Cup song. But let me y'all know y'all thoughts in the comments. So the theory is that while performing, these eagle-eyed fans and people into theories obviously look for some stuff at the opening ceremony because you all know every time there's a big event or big opening of something, there has to be some stuff going around or some stuff going to happen. You know what I mean? And so the first theory of the whole opening ceremony was that that wasn't Shakira performing really; it was a double. I don't know about that theory, but I think it was Shakira because they are saying like the glasses she had on was like huge, and it was trying to cover her eyes because it wasn't her actually performing. And I believe they said she looked taller and a bit skinnier. Like than before. She's already skinny. What are y'all talking about? How is she skinnier than before that? So I don't know about that theory that's going around, but could be truth. We don't know because that was a pair of huge glasses that she was wearing in that event. And I actually thought, why are you trying to cover your whole face, bro? We all knew that was the real Burna Boy. You heard his voice, whatever. That was the real Burna Boy. No doubt about that. But was that the real Sakira? Obviously, we don't know. We will never know unless someone comes out with some footage that proves it. But anyway, but something I noticed, maybe all of you noticed towards the opening ceremony, the first two singers, I believe there were two Mexican singers. So the first one, skip the first one, that other guy who came and rapped. I don't know. I guess he was a rapper slash singer. So he was singing and rapping with all those dancers around him. And when he went up to the little mini stage around the World Cup thing, and they skipped to one of the dances, this girl who's one of the dancers, she threw up straight up the all-seeing eye sign. If you know what that means, if you know that sign, you know the story behind it. You know who's it associated with. She basically threw up the sign in front of the camera, and while she did it, she's trying to align her eye to make it look like the all-seeing eye. And no one missed that. It was clear in front of your face. And obviously, the eagle-eyed fans noticed that. The eagle-eyed tearers. What do y'all call people like me? Tearers. Tearists. I don't know. But those people obviously noticed that. We picked that up. I picked that up even. And really don't watch stuff that closely, but even I picked that up. And they're basically trying to show us that they are in control of this whole thing. I knew something was going down at the opening event, but I didn't know they put it right up in your face, man. That was a bit crazy, eh? But they've been doing that for years, actually. If you look back at like old cartoon shows, they've they hidden this stuff in all of these cartoons, like SpongeBob. SpongeBob the dolphin actually weighs, like you all know the dolphin character. They showed in some episodes, or even the movie. He has like this chain with the all-seeing eye on it, and many other stuff. Gravity Falls. The whole plot of this thing is like Bill, aka the elites, trying to take over the world, and they're basically pushing it from the beginning now, and it's not even hidden anymore. But anyways, so yeah, man, they're basically showing us now we we know about the World Cup, and we are running this thing because we are hosting it basically, the USA, which is like the main source basically of the higher ups or whatever what you want to call it. Um, Staying on the topic of the World Cup, these people actually predicted like Portugal's going to win this year's World Cup. So basically, just for Ronaldo, because Messi won the last World Cup 2022, because it was supposed to be his last World Cup. So that's why they didn't give it to him, but he was basically favored to win it, you know. So that's why they gave. I'm just gonna say I'm a Ronaldo fan. They gave Messi the World Cup. No one can do anything about what I just said. Go argue with your. I don't want to say go argue with your mother because you should be nice to your mother. But anyways, um, so they gave Messi the 2022 World Cup, and Ronaldo this year. I'm hoping Portugal takes it because the Simpsons actually predicted that in an episode way back. I believe it was like a 1997 episode where almost like at this World Cup game against Portugal and Mexico, which which was the final, and Portugal wins it. So they're actually saying that old clip of that old episode is trying to predict this year's winner of the World Cup. Also, like the EA Sports Matrix like tournament thing that they're doing, predicting the last four winners of the World Cup, which was 2010 it was Spain, 2014 Germany, 18 it was France, 2022 it was obviously Argentina. So they're trying to push Portugal winning the World Cup. Maybe they will, maybe they will not. My pick is final. We have Spain against France. That's my prediction. And with Spain winning the World Cup, that's my prediction. Let me know y'all's predictions of the World Cup. Who y'all supporting? I'm supporting Spain and South Africa because I'm from South Africa, but I don't know how far my team is gonna come because we already losing these opening games. But anyway, so that I just don't want to get too much on that because it will ruin the podcast. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end it there, guys. Thank y'all for watching another episode of the First Pump podcast with me, and I hope y'all continue watching. Y'all continue trying to solve or rethink some of these theories that I'm just presenting to y'all. And yeah, man. And the verse of the day is Psalm 1 verse 1. I believe it says, "Blessed are those who do not walk in the same path as the wicked." But I'm just gonna rephrase it in my own words. And verse 2 says, "But finds his joy in the reading of God's word." Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.